There is a world where nature still hides some of her most beautiful secrets. A notch in the Earth's crust between Africa, Asia, and Europe. The Mediterranean.
She is my own.
15,000 islands surrounded by crystal clear water. A deep sea where extraordinary wildlife reigns. Waters so blue, they attract visitors from all over the world. This sea has witnessed the birth of civilizations, the first cities, the first seafarers. No natural space has been so affected by the presence of mankind. How do they adapt to us? How do they succeed in giving birth, raising their young, growing up, finding a mate, pushing beyond their limits, conquering new territories? Under attack on all fronts, how can this remarkable sea withstand this pressure? Can she heal her wounds? Can she regenerate?
She lies and rolls.
These are the incredible stories of the living beings in the Mediterranean today. This is the story of a legendary animal that has almost disappeared. The monk seal. They could once be found throughout the Mediterranean. Hundreds of thousands of them. Where did they go? Guillaume Néry is looking for the last survivors. With his free diving talents, he can enter their world. The last monk seals are hiding where no one goes. They inhabit the wildest coast of Greece. They are suspicious of humans. To follow them, you have to be like them, able to swim without breathing, for a very, very long time. They live in inaccessible caves. As far as possible from any human presence. History has taught them it is better to hide away. They once led a peaceful life on the beaches of the Mediterranean. The problem was, they competed with fishermen. Their flesh was tasty, and their fat and skin were highly prized. They were exterminated. From the 18th to the 20th century, they were hunted all over the Mediterranean. Until we realized they had almost disappeared. Guillaume Néry was deeply affected by the tragedy of these remarkable animals. He wanted to immerse himself in their world and follow the extraordinary fate of one of them. He's looking for a particular young seal that was referred to him. The young seal was tracked by a team of scientists a few years ago. He lived on this exact section of coastline. They call this cave the Cathedral. It is a sanctuary for many seals, and has been for centuries. They live here, completely isolated from the world. A seal conservation group, MUM, was able to follow this youngster's fate and witness his moving story. We know he was born in this exact spot. Thanks to an infrared camera, his infancy was recorded day after day. It was 5 years ago in October. 2 seal mothers gave birth around the same time. As our young hero was taking his first breaths, a tragic event took place. The other mother lost her baby. His death was caught on camera. Driven mad with despair, the mother refused to accept reality and decided the youngster was also hers. She wanted to stay with them and adopt the little one. A strange life began for the young male. Torn between 2 mothers ready to fight to take care of him. Sometimes he suckles one, sometimes the other. But if he spends too much time being fussed by one, the other gets angry. How do you keep 2 mothers happy? He is at the center of an escalating conflict. The young seal grows quickly, well fed by his 2 mothers. There is no lack of love or fresh fish. But they bark and fight incessantly. They bite each other, drawing blood. It's becoming unlivable. It's on one of these brawling days that the youngster decides to leave. He ventures to the cave entrance. He can sense another world, very close. Fascinating and terrifying at the same time. A powerful curiosity pushes him towards the unknown. But this is not a good day to leave. A terrible storm is brewing. Has he been carried away by the waves? That evening, there are no pictures of him in the cave. Nor the following day. The two mothers are alone. They have no reasons to fight anymore. Their pup never returned. There's no news from him until one day in November. Several hundred kilometers away, fishermen report the presence of a young seal stranded on the beach. He's almost dead. Kind members of the public call the organization Mum, which takes him in. For 4 months, he is cared for, fed, hydrated. Then the young seal is released on an island in the Sporades. He drops off the radar again. Guillaume has followed his journey to the archipelago, where he was released. What happened to the young seal? Has he adapted back to the wild? Guillaume is looking for his trail.
Did you see them?
No, I don't see them, but I see the holes that they are making into the...
He was seen on an island. He was sleeping on a beach. He followed this man's boat.
Δεν το ξέρω αυτό το τραγούδι και το μίλησα μια εβδομάδα. Να βγάλουμε να πούμε.
This fisherman gave him a few fish. The young seal is swimming around in a nearby bay. He was spotted there last night. There he is. He is now almost fully grown. He is less wild than the others. Surely a remnant of his time among humans. And yet, it is dangerous for him. Despite their harmless appearance, seals are wild animals, and interactions with humans are dangerous for them and for us. Has this species been saved from extinction? Can there be a lasting peace with humans? The story of this young seal suggests that our two species can share space in a friendly way. These marine mammals are cousins. They have feelings, heartache, joy. They can form powerful emotional bonds with others. Thanks to the work of conservation groups, seals are now reappearing where they had once disappeared. In Turkey, in the Adriatic Sea, in Sicily. Their total population has risen from a few dozen to perhaps 1,000 individuals. If we continue to protect their habitats, seals could well repopulate the whole Mediterranean before too long. The island of Amorgos in the Cyclades in southern Greece. Here, the fate of one of the most iconic animals in the Mediterranean is played out. A mischievous feline. The cat. Cats approached humans only 10,000 years ago. And this took place for the first time on the shores of the Mediterranean. This young cat is 4 months old. One of the monastery's cat's many kittens. She has just weaned him, and now he must fend for himself. His adolescent life begins with a crucial test of obtaining food.
Ως και εμείς αφίεμεν τις οφειλέτες ημών, και μη εις ενέγγις ημάς εις πειρασμόν,
In the monastery, cats do not belong to anyone. The monks feed them and offer them shelter, that's all. For everything else, they manage amongst themselves. And that is the problem for this young cat, the other lodgers. About 10 tomcats already occupy this territory. And they're not going to give him a thing. His mother is there among them, but she won't do anything for him anymore. He has to grow up. The days of safety and milk from his mother are gone. He is condemned to exile. All living beings make this transition from childhood to adulthood one day. There are those who rush to leave the family cocoon, and those who dream of staying there as long as possible. Deprived of their mother's tenderness, faced with solitude, they must find a new way of living. Most domestic species have lost their wild instincts. Like dogs, they are unable to fend for themselves in the wild. This is not the case with cats. He still has all his predator's powers. His exceptional vision can detect the slightest movement from miles away. With his ultra-sensitive and directional ears, he can locate a mouse underground. He can read an impressive amount of chemical signals that are undetectable to us. Until now, young Cat has led a sheltered life. As he comes into contact with the wild, the high-performance feline awakens within him. A little panther in action. Cats grew closer to humans when they became settled. What attracted them in the first place were our grain stores. When our ancestors began storing their wheat, another animal found its way into their granaries. An animal that is the cat's favorite prey. At the time, farmers quickly saw the value of having cats around. These little predators protected their harvest. They accepted their presence, they even encouraged it. And that is why these wild felines now inhabit people's homes. For other young animals, the process of becoming independent takes much longer. And when your mother is the giant of the Mediterranean, it's quite a story. He's an 8-month-old fin-whale calf, a big baby weighing 8 tons and 10 meters long. For him too, the time has come to grow up, to make his own way, to feed himself by his own means. Except he doesn't know how to find food. He still needs his mother. Until now, all he's had to do is come to her belly and suckle. 70 liters of milk flowed into his mouth. It's all gone. His mother is still there, but the milk has dried up. And now he has a whale's appetite. 4 tons of fish a day. That's a normal diet for a whale like him. He will have to learn. But how? His mother has just located a sardine shoal down below. She leaves her calf on his own. He can't follow her. Little Finn is not yet able to dive to great depths, but he can still communicate with her through song. Mother and baby send signals to each other. This allows them to keep in touch and to know their respective locations precisely. Water conducts sound very well, 5 times faster than air. Whales can hear each other for hundreds of kilometers. But the dialogue can break down. Other sounds interfere with their communication. This danger is made of steel. It travels at 40 kilometers an hour and weighs thousands of tons. If the calf collides with it, it's all over for him. More and more crews are now aware of this. RepSec network software helps alert other vessels to the presence of a well and limit collisions. The Mediterranean represents 1% of the ocean's surface. However, it is crossed by 30% of global maritime traffic. Thousands of boats navigate it to reach the Suez Canal and avoid sailing around Africa. 40 whales are killed every year. But a new program developed by the WWF and Quiet Ocean is raising hope. Using micro-submarines, the Stop Collision system detects whale songs, locates them in real time, and transmits their position to every boat. Little Finn is safe, but he still hasn't eaten anything. His mother must teach him to feed on his own, so she listens. And here's the others. There they are. Hundreds of whales roam the deep parts of the Mediterranean all year round. In spring, they travel up from the coast of North Africa towards the Gulf of Lion for the abundant plankton and the promise of extraordinary feasts. Follows his mother. He observes her and imitates her gestures. And it works. This is his first time. Thousands of sardines wriggling in his mouth. Little Finn has just had his first meal on his own. And he thinks that's all there is to it. that he's all grown up and can now live on his own? Not quite yet. The day he learns to fish at a depth of 200 meters, little Finn will be a real whale, and his mother will let him go. But not before then. They are not all as lucky. Young Cat must learn everything on his own. What options does a young stray cat have? Returning to the wild is rough and uncomfortable. Ideally, he'll find a free home with some humans. All around the Mediterranean basin, cats have grown accustomed to being pampered, fed, petted, even worshipped by us. They seek our company. It's their instinct. Available places are hard to find these days. There are stray cats everywhere. Cats are normally solitary animals, but when all the available food is concentrated in one place, then colonies are formed. There are laws to be respected here. And certain individuals, it's best not to upset. The young male is not strong enough to establish himself in the colony of strays. He's going to have to find another way to get by. How do you survive when you're alone and sorely lacking in experience? This is where the cat's ingenuity comes in. Birds. Birds have nests. And in the nest, there are little chicks that cannot fly. Young Cat can hear their chirping from far away. He has found a reliable food source. Amorgos Island is home to plenty of birds. You just need to find their nesting homes. The story of this young cat reveals a much greater one. Cats have thrived so much in the Mediterranean basin that some species of bird and reptiles are now in danger. The problem is even more devastating in islands where the endemic species have never faced predators. The little feline has been able to adapt to all situations in order to survive. He knew how to awaken his wild instincts. Soon, he will be an accomplished hunter, like his ancestors. Mammals must be weaned from their mother's milk before becoming adults. Among other animals, the young leave as quickly as possible. Some do not think about anything else, growing up and making their own way. Southern Italy, Matera, one of the oldest cities in the world. The city of birds. Here, the men and the falcons have made a pact of friendship. Each spring, lesser kestrels arrive from Africa to breed. They make their nests, but not just anywhere. Precisely where men have built shelters for them. They settle down for a few months to raise their young. This is the story of one of them. This young falcon is 3 weeks old. He doesn't have his adult feathers yet, but already he can only think about one thing: flying. Just like the grown-ups, gliding across the sky above the world. When will he have his freedom? Young falcon hatch out of his egg before his siblings. He was always the first on the ledge. The hungriest, tenacious, a fighter. He grew up faster than the others. He gained confidence in himself. Maybe too much. He will be able to fly in 2 weeks, but he can't wait that long. He has been training his wings for days, but without feathers, he cannot catch the wind. A week has passed. Feathers have grown on his wings. Can he fly? What is this force that drives him to take risks, to want to be like the grown-ups, although he's fed and housed? Young falcon embarks on a hazardous venture. He has to find a place to take off. A high place. the top of the roof. Why did he leave home? Falcon is too young. He overestimated his strength. Young falcons who cannot fly are doomed. Except in Matera. Everyone here knows that falcons that fall from their nest must be rescued. There are those in too much of a hurry. The clumsy ones. The reckless ones. The unlucky ones. All these little ones are cared for and protected until the day they are ready. Young Falcon has recovered from his injuries. Now he has his adult plumage. A second chance. He's flying at last. This territory is now his. And what a fantastic hunting ground. Catching prey. His instincts are awakened. The lesser kestrel feeds primarily on grasshoppers. And where does he find his prey? On our crops. This wonderful alliance takes on its full meaning in summer. Men protect the falcons, and in return, the falcons protect their crops from insects. In September, young falcon will leave for Africa. He will travel thousands of kilometers over seas and deserts. He will find a partner. And then he will truly be an adult. Impatience to grow up, freeing yourself from your family, leading your own life, is a feeling most young creatures share. There is one animal, however, who waits its whole life before becoming an adult. It has one of the most famous voices in the Mediterranean. Tonight, the cicada is preparing to take center stage for her moment of glory. After 6 years underground, Cicada is coming out of her hole. She is still a vulnerable larva. But a huge transformation is underway. She finds a place up high and discreetly carries out her metamorphosis. Under the cover of darkness, Cicada strips off her child's clothing. She is ready for the great summer symphony. But this cicada won't be singing. She's a female. And when you're a female cicada, you don't need to exert yourself. You are listening to the males. Here's one now. His deep voice is quite pleasant. She hears another. Where is this musician? With that shrill voice, he doesn't stand a chance. This third is not in time. That will count against him. Soon suitors arrive from all directions. To get noticed, they rapidly vibrate two membranes in their abdomen. They ring out like cymbals. Together, they synchronize their songs to give them power. A whole choir for the beautiful lady. We hear this concert every summer. It is actually a love song competition between the males. Miss Cicada must make her choice out of this whole crowd. Which voice to choose? She searches for her favorite by ear. In her eyes, he is the greatest singer of his generation. He will be the only one she chooses. They will mate once, and their life will come to an end under a new moon on a beautiful summer night. They waited 6 years underground to live out their adult life in a fortnight. But what a life! Singing about love in the summer heat, then dying on stage. What would the shores of the Mediterranean be without the cicada's song? Becoming an adult is a long road, full of obstacles.
She is my home.
Leaving behind what you love, launching yourself into the unknown. At the other end of the spectrum, there are more trials and tribulations in store.
She washed our souls out. She washed our souls out. Washed our minds and all our sorrows. She's the mother of all cats. I know we can't